Tonight, major cocaine bust at St. Lucia Post Office, 3.44 kilograms seized, suspect arrested. St. Lucia Cancer Society launches Childhood Cancer Awareness Month campaign. And St. Lucia's Olympic stars, Alfred and Lawrenson, set for Tokyo 2025.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News.
Good evening. It is Friday, 5th September 2025. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna. Thank you so much for joining us. As Childhood Cancer Awareness Month begins, the St. Lucia Cancer Society has launched a month-long campaign to support young patients and raise awareness across the island. President of the St. Lucia Cancer Society, Dr. Tamara Remy, stresses the importance of early detection, education, and family support in improving outcomes for children battling cancer.
The Cancer Society is calling on St. Lucians to paint the town gold this September, whether by wearing yellow or gold, making donations or volunteering time to show solidarity with children and families navigating the cancer journey. President of the St. Lucia Cancer Society, Dr. Tamara Remy, explained that while the childhood cancer cases are relatively rare, averaging only about 2 per year in St. Lucia, the month of September provides a vital opportunity to educate families, schools, and communities.
We at the Cancer Society for the last couple of years have decided to focus on childhood cancers because we think that there's a lot of education that needs to be spread to bring that awareness to the community, right? It's also a month where schools are reopening, and we really want to get especially the kids, the parents, the PTAs on board at the beginning of a school year, just to highlight something which, number one, is not very common. In fact, sometimes most people have never even thought that children can get cancer, but we think it's an opportune time to do several things which align with our goals at the society, which is to educate, bring the awareness, and advocate for cancer.
Dr. Remy highlighted that while diagnosis can be made locally, specialized treatment for children is usually arranged abroad.
So a lot of our cancer patients, pediatric cancer patients, would be diagnosed by their pediatricians, right? Either general practitioner or the pediatrician. And what we do have in place in St. Lucia is a referral system for the most part, where we try to transfer the specialist care that the clients, the patients would need. We try to transfer the clients usually to Martinique. And if it is something that is not able to be dealt with in Martinique, then Martinique will usually send these kids on to France. There's also an arrangement with Sick Kids, which is, I believe, a Canadian initiative. And so the kids, for the most part, do not get most of their treatments here in St. Lucia. They're usually transferred elsewhere, and they do pretty well. So it really is a matter of making the diagnosis as quickly as possible, which can easily be done here, and then making the necessary arrangements. Obviously,
beyond financial support, the society is also focusing on emotional and psychosocial care.
So this month we are part of a bigger picture where we are trying to get the school kids to take on the initiative, to understand what wearing gold and wearing yellow actually means. It will look like we're going into schools and having individual conversations at a school level, trying to educate groups of kids, and just trying to create that awareness. The unfortunate thing is that it lasts for September, because next month is October, and you're going to have the same thing happening for breast cancer, and everybody forgets about September. So the hope is usually that we start the awareness and advocacy, and try not to just get the school kids, but the parents and the wider society just to always be constantly aware that cancer is very much in our presence, in our midst. For those persons who don't even know that children can get cancer, is to educate you about that, how to support these kids, how to support the parents who are going through this, especially in the schools. You know, we try to appeal to the empathy, to stop the bullying. So you have a child who's come back from treatment, who's lost all their hair, they may look a little different. What do we do without even knowing that they've gone through a cancer journey to be supportive?
This year's campaign will include outreach sessions, workshops, and school assemblies where children will learn not only about cancer but also about healthy habits to carry into adulthood. While most childhood cancers cannot be prevented, early detection can significantly improve the outcomes. Globally, more than 80% of children diagnosed can make a full recovery with proper treatment. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
In a joint operation on August 15, 2025, St. Lucia's law enforcement agencies seized a significant shipment of cocaine concealed in a postal package at the General Post Office in Castries. The successful interception, which comes amid growing concerns over drug trafficking through the mail, marks another major victory in the island's fight against international drug smuggling.
In a major blow to international drug trafficking, law enforcement officials intercepted a significant shipment of cocaine destined for export through the island's postal system. The operation, executed on Friday, August 15, 2025, at the General Post Office on Breach Street in Castries, resulted in the seizure of 3.44 kilograms of cocaine with a street value estimated at $86,000. The operation was the culmination of a joint effort by the Customs and Excise Department, the Gang's Narcotics and Firearms Unit, and the K9 Unit in response to growing concerns over illicit drug shipments being funneled through the mail. Authorities targeted ongoing packages from the Vieux-Fort Post Office, which were scheduled for transit via George F.L. Charles Airport. The break in the case came when a seemingly harmless cardboard box marked as CMOS raised suspicions during routine checks. Upon closer inspection, officers discovered 4 bricks of a solid whitish substance hidden within the packages. A field test quickly confirmed the substance to be cocaine with a total weight of 3.44 kilograms. The authorities swiftly documented and sealed the drugs, preserving vital evidence for the ongoing investigation. The discovery raised serious alarms, confirming that the postal system was being used as a conduit for illegal drug exportation. Intelligence gathered by the Gang's Narcotics and Firearms South Branch quickly pointed to the sender of the package, one Neil Alexander of Peru Vieux-Fort. The unit, with the support of the Southern Tactical Team, executed a search warrant at Alexander's residence on Wednesday, September 3, 2025. Upon apprehension, Alexander was informed of his offenses, cautioned, and arrested. The suspect was charged the following day, Thursday, September 4, 2025, with multiple offenses under the St. Lucia's drug and customs laws. These included possession of cocaine, attempting to export cocaine under the Drug Prevention of Misuse Act, as well as attempting to export prohibited goods and fraudulent evasion under the Customs Control and Management Act. On Friday, September 5, 2025, Alexander appeared before the courts and was granted bail in the sum of EC $27,900 under strict conditions. He is required to surrender all travel documents, adhere to restrictions on international travel, and comply with the regular reporting requirements set by the court. The successful interception of this drug shipment is a significant victory for law enforcement, but authorities are not stopping there. The investigation remains ongoing as officials work to uncover the wider network behind this smuggling operation. With the growing trend of drug trafficking via the postal system, authorities are stepping up their vigilance to prevent further shipments from slipping through the cracks. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
With less than a month to go before the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Team St. Lucia is being led by 2 of the island's standout female athletes who have already made their mark on the international stage.
According to the St. Lucia Athletics Association, SLAA, the island will be represented in Tokyo by Olympic champion Julian Alfred, who will compete in the 100-meter and 200-meter, and Asian Lawrenson, set to contest the 100-meter hurdles. Both athletes are in strong form this season, with Alfred blazing through the Diamond League circuit and Lawrenson showcasing her readiness at the North American, Central American and Caribbean Athletic Association Championships. St. Lucia Athletics Association President Dora Henry emphasized the level of preparation involved.
Preparation has been extensive and very focused, in particular for Julian Alfred. She is actually at a camp as we speak in preparation for the games, and would have had access to top tier coaching and rigorous warm-up meets, and therefore she is ready. Asia similarly would have been preparing and planning for her appearance at the World Athletics Championship.
Extending gratitude, Henry noted that the St. Lucia Athletics Association has managed all administrative aspects for Team St. Lucia's participation at the upcoming games.
The St. Lucia Athletics Association would have handled all administrative aspects and matters for Team St. Lucia, including athlete registration, flight details, accommodation, preparation for the Congress and Convention, sourcing of equipment and competition kits, and having regular meetings and discussions with the management team of both athletes to ensure that every detail is covered. A big thank you and support from the National Lotteries Authority, which have provided critical financial assistance to us as it relates to the travel and accommodation for our management team and our athletes' accommodation, as well as from World Athletics also would have subsidized some of our costs. And Julian's manager, Mr. Henry Roll, who provided some guidance and has secured essential services such as physiotherapists and mental coaching services for our athletes.
Looking ahead, the St. Lucia Athletics Association SLAA is committed to expanding its long-term athletics program with a focus on driving growth in athletics through greater investment, expanding grassroots and school programs, and creating sustainable pathways for international exposure. The association has issued a call on St. Lucians at home and abroad to rally behind Alfred and Lawrenson as they prepare to take on the world's best in Tokyo. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Coming up next, Serenity Park reopens after major upgrades, and Minister Stephenson King provides update on Julian R. Hunt Highway reconstruction. The details to these stories and much more when we come back.
Your life anywhere, anytime with your BOSL Visa credit card.
Spend your life living BOSL's got you. Live your life your way. It's your life, it's what you do.
Grosley will be on fire Saturday, September 6th with a spectacular sports and entertainment showcase to mark the grand reopening of the Grosley Mini Stadium. 2 thrilling professional football clashes. Henry versus Central Castries and Grosley versus Mabuya Valley. Look out for the halftime entertainment show featuring some of St. Lucia's power and groovy soca MVP. Isha K, Sly, Grosley's King of Soca, Ezra the Fun Machine, Tennyson John, Soca Royalty, Ricky T, Groovy Soca Monarch Nerdy, vibes alive. It's an evening of exciting football, spectacular performances, and community pride. Celebrating this historic occasion, the grand reopening of the Gros Soleil Mini Stadium. Gates open at 4 p.m. Admission is absolutely free. Don't miss the action. Saturday, September 6th, Gros Soleil Mini Stadium. Be there.
St. Lucia, the moment you've been waiting for, is finally here. This Sunday, September 7th, all roads lead to the Miku playing field for a historic night. The United Workers' Party will present the entire slate of 17 candidates, men and women, ready to serve, ready to lead, and ready to right the wrongs been done against the people of our beloved country. Come here from our dynamic new candidates, our powerful speakers, and our trusted visionary leader, as we unveil the team and the plans to return hope, prosperity, and opportunity to St. Lucia. Bring your rags, bring your crew, and join the movement. This is a night you don't want to miss. Sunday, September 7th from 4 p.m. at the Miku playing field. Come stand with the United Workers' Party. Together, we will right the wrong.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs introduces the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic at the newly transformed Dr. Winston C. Paris Medical Complex, formerly Victoria Hospital, from Monday 16 December 2024. We're revolutionizing healthcare with services designed to keep you thriving. Medical clinics, urgent care, diabetic and hypertensive care, asthma and respiratory care, wound management, pharmacy services, home visits, and so much more. Medical and urgent care operating hours 8 a.m. to midnight. But that's not all. The National Eye Clinic within the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic brings world-class eye care to your doorstep. From diabetic retinopathy screening to glaucoma testing, cataract surgeries, and community eye screenings, we're here to help you see a brighter tomorrow. Operating hours 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact the National Eye Clinic at 468-8611 or Dr. Betty Wells Polyclinic at 468-8880 to schedule your appointments today. Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic. Quality healthcare for life.
Now you can take Hot FM, Kiss FM, and Hot 7 TV with you wherever you go. Whether you're in St. Lucia or exploring our four corners of the globe. Our record-breaking app has already been downloaded over 500,000 times on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time, anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features, like our live in-studio option, where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. St. Lucia is now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected.
This is the Hot 7 Night News.
Thanks for staying with us. Serenity Park is set to welcome visitors once again. Castries Central MP Richard Frederick announced that the popular public space has been upgraded, enhancing experiences for park goers.
At Monday's pre-cabinet press briefing, Castries Central MP Richard Frederick announced the much-anticipated reopening of Serenity Park. The popular public space has undergone significant enhancements aimed at improving the visitor experience. Among the key upgrades, the minister highlighted the addition of modern changing facilities and a new fountain designed to better accommodate the steady stream of park goers.
We have changing rooms for male and female. We have vending booths for other persons who are interested in ensuring that they secure a spot to sell at Serenity Park, to vend at Serenity Park. And of course, we also have a changed fountain. You see, when a facility is built initially, it may have teething problems that one did not envisage during operations. And what we realize is that the crowds at Convergence Serenity Park really, an injustice was being done to them in terms of not having enough space because the fountain took too much space. And so a decision was made. We actually closed down on the fountain. I could tell you now it's more aesthetically pleasing.
Frederick expressed his satisfaction with the final product, noting that although it was initially intended to open before the carnival season, infrastructural work delays had postponed its unveiling.
Very pleased with the final product. I am pleased at the quality of work the contractor has delivered to the government and people of this country. And I'm hoping that the park, a number of organizations called me, the banks called me, the older folk called me. I've received a number of calls because, as the name suggests, it's a really serene area, a place for reflection, for, you do all your personal thinking and whatever within that area, right next to a fountain. It makes a very good environment for that purpose.
The park reopened its doors on September 5th, 2025. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Minister for Infrastructure, Ports and Transport Stephenson King has provided an update on major road development projects, including the long-anticipated reconstruction of the Julian R. Hunt Highway, while also responding to public concerns about ticketing on the Waterworks bypass.
Minister for Infrastructure, Ports and Transport, Honorable Stephenson King, has stated that one of the island's major infrastructure projects, the Julian R. Hunt Highway, will undergo redesign and new construction works could commence soon. The project, he explained, is being advanced through funding from the government of Kuwait, the Kuwaiti Fund for Arab and Economic Development, KFED, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
When the new administration came into office, we sought the assistance of the Kuwaiti government and the KFED, and as we speak, we are actively pursuing the reconstruction, redesign and reconstruction of the Julian R. Hunt Highway from the Shock Bridge all the way to join with the Grosley to Cap Estate Road. That is in a very advanced stage. We have been negotiating for some time now with the Kuwaitis. They have finally agreed, along with the Caribbean Development Bank, to assist us in not just improving that section of the road, but also to improving the Norbe-Vieux-Sequi link road between the Moshi Road and the Grand Riviere Road, linking Corinth with Moshi and providing an alternative bypass for motorists.
The proposed works has attracted the incorporation of modern data on traffic flows, accident trends, and report impediments into the design.
Last week, the consultants were on the road, taking the final bit of data to inform the redesign of the road, because the last design was over 10 years ago. And so in construction and engineering, you need to have current data, traffic flow, the design of the road, what are the impediments on the road, whether those impediments are contributing to motor vehicular accident, etc., etc. So current data would be factored into the redesign, and hopefully we are looking at towards the end of the year, early next year, to commence the construction of the road.
The project is expected to be completed in 3 phases.
It will be divided into, I think, 3 segments, from the Shock roundabout to Marisil, Marisil to the Moshi Junction, and the Moshi Junction to Grosley. So this will be it. In addition, the government has started ahead of any other initiative to improve on the Vieux-Sequi Norbe Road, which is Vieux-Sequi from Grand Riviere through Vieux-Sequi, Norbe, and into Corinth, as I said earlier on, to present a wider, safer, more attractive and more efficient road to connect the Grosley community into Grand Riviere and onto Union and other communities.
Minister King emphasized that the project forms part of the government's broader mandate to enhance road safety, improve traffic flow, and create resilient infrastructure that meets the demands of modern St. Lucia. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
In a bold step to bolster protection for survivors of domestic abuse, the government has announced a major boost in funding for St. Lucia's Crisis Center, a move hailed by Gender Affairs Minister Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, who says it is part of a wider plan to relocate and restructure the facility to better meet the island's growing needs.
In a decisive move to strengthen support systems from victims of domestic violence, the Cabinet has approved an increase in the annual subvention to the island's Crisis Center, now set at $240,000 EC. The announcement came during Monday's post-Cabinet press briefing, where Minister for Gender Affairs, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot, underscored the urgent need for the center to be relocated to a more suitable facility. The minister reaffirmed government's commitment to ensure that individuals facing domestic abuse can access safe, reliable support services.
And with a new board in place, they submitted a request to government, and government increased their subvention. The subvention that they used to get from government before was in the region of $72,000 a year, and that would assist in paying the rental and paying some staff support. At this point, as we speak, government increased that subvention by $168,000. So,
Dr. Albert Poyot has disclosed that a comprehensive review of the Women's Support Center has been completed. The findings recommended that the facility be reconstructed into a fully fledged organization or business entity, better equipped to meet the growing demand for its services. Located at a secure and disclosed site, the center currently provides critical refuge and support for women fleeing domestic violence, offering them a safe haven while their legal matters are being resolved.
The employees of the Women's Support Center actually approached the Department of Public Service, represented by the union. They are represented by the CSA, indicating that there are certain conditions that they were dissatisfied with, only to find out that this Women's Support Center should have been a private entity. It's not a government entity. Government would just give them a subvention every year to allow them to function. The building where they operate belongs to government, but they are not under the direct jurisdiction of the government.
The transition is slated to unfold over the next 6 months. For Hot 7 TV News, Josiah Bisset reporting.
Backed by increased government funding and a renewed national focus on cultural preservation, officials say this year's Creole Day celebrations will be bigger, bolder, and more inclusive, promising a truly island-wide celebration of Creole identity.
As anticipation builds for the vibrant Journée Creole season, St. Lucians are gearing up for a spirited round of cultural celebrations. The Folk Research Center has officially unveiled its calendar of events, with Bellevue and Babonneau named as this year's headline host communities. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Culture, Gibeon Ferdinand, has affirmed the ministry's active involvement in supporting and enriching this year's festivities, underscoring the government's commitment to preserving and promoting St. Lucia's rich Creole heritage.
The first thing that we do is to try to facilitate through the agency. So the CDF, FRC, and the agencies responsible have been working on this. It's normally something you plan well in advance, and the calendar has been released. As we know, there are 2 communities that have been identified as the main host communities, Bellevue in the south and Babonneau in the northeast. Strategically, this allows for the management of traffic and other challenges that we've had when the communities have been close, quote unquote close. But more importantly, we try to encourage the decentralization of the celebrations, because we want all the communities around the country to be part of the effort. And so even if we have 2 main host communities, in the past there used to be 3, but now it's down to 2. It's because we really want to encourage other communities to have their own localized celebration.
The parliamentary secretary states an increase in funding for this year's Creole Month celebrations. He noted that each day throughout the month will spotlight a unique Creole-themed event, forming a vibrant tapestry of tradition and expression, emphasizing continuity. Ferdinand reaffirmed that at the heart of the Creole Month lies an unwavering dedication to safeguarding the island's rich cultural heritage.
Two features in Journée Creole have really traditionally been the food, the music, right? But I think each of the various art forms and the various events have their focus. So Carnival has its own focus, jazz has its focus, and Creole Heritage, Journée Creole has its focus. And we want to retain that. It's not about trying to get big crowds at everything. You want to preserve the meaning and the true essence of the celebration. And Creole Heritage and Journée Creole is really about the celebration of our St. Lucianness, which is of course also part of Carnival and jazz, but Creole Heritage really is more about a traditional practices.
Ferdinand announced that the path forward for St. Lucia's Creole Festival lies in empowering every district to celebrate in its own distinct style. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We'll be right back.
The Super 6 jackpot is $230,000. Get your tickets today.
If I would have known that you wouldn't be here anymore, I would have made the moments last a little longer. 'Cause now I'm alone, and you're just a memory in my mind. I would have given anything to say goodbye. My big bro, the general. 21 gun salute, I'll see you soon on the other side. If I would have known, if I would have known, I'd have broke parole and come home sooner. If I would have known.
Cruiserweight will be on fire Saturday, September 6th with a spectacular sports and entertainment showcase to mark the grand reopening of the Cruiserweight Mini Stadium. Two thrilling professional football clashes, Henry versus Central Castries and Cruiserweight versus Mabuya Valley. Look out for the halftime entertainment show featuring some of St. Lucia's power and groovy soca MVP, Isha K, Sly, Cruiserweight's King of Soca, Ezra the Fun Machine, Tennyson George, Soca Royalty, Ricky T, Groovy Soca Monarch Nerdy, and Power and Calypso Monarch Desrel, with DJ's Pressure and Hyper D keeping the vibes alive. It's an evening of exciting football, spectacular performances, and community pride. Celebrating this historic occasion, the grand reopening of the Cruiserweight Mini Stadium. Gates open at 4 p.m. Admission is absolutely free. Don't miss the action. Saturday, September 6th, Cruiserweight Mini Stadium. Be there.
St. Lucia, the moment you've been waiting for, is finally here. This Sunday, September 7th, all roads lead to the Miku playing field for a historic night. The United Workers' Party will present the entire slate of 17 candidates, men and women, ready to serve, ready to lead, and ready to right the wrongs been done against the people of our beloved country. Come here from our dynamic new candidates, our powerful speakers, and our trusted visionary leader, as we unveil the team and the plans to return hope, prosperity, and opportunity to St. Lucia. Bring your rags, bring your crew, and join the movement. This is a night you don't want to miss. Sunday, September 7th from 4 p.m. at the Miku playing field. Come stand with the United Workers' Party. Together, we will right the wrong.
Do you feel like you're drowning in debt? Have your sources of income been severely impacted and you have nowhere to turn? The St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited is here to save. With our rescue plan, we can consolidate your debt obligations into one easy-to-manage loan with affordable payment terms, tailored to keep you afloat. Contact us today at 453-2538 in Castries or 454-7802 in Viewfort for further details. The St. Lucia Teachers Credit Cooperative Limited, an educated choice.
Looking for the best way to advertise? Stop searching. Hot 7 TV gives you more reach, more impact, and more value. Get your business in front of the right audience and watch your sales soar. Don't miss out. Call 452-6040 today and take advantage of our exclusive advertising packages. Hot 7 TV, smart advertising for smart businesses.
Now you can take Hot FM, Kiss FM, and Hot 7 TV with you wherever you go. Whether you're in St. Lucia or exploring our four corners of the globe. Our record-breaking app has already been downloaded over 500,000 times on Google Play and the Apple App Store. To bring you the best in HD sound, we've relaunched a brand new app. Get it for free in the App Store by simply searching Caribbean Hot FM HD. Listen to us in real time, anywhere, any place, anytime. We've added so many cool new features, like our live in-studio option, where you can see your favorite announcers and DJs at work. So download the app today. It's free. Spread the news. St. Lucia is now in HD around the world on the Hot FM app. Don't miss out. Join the fun and stay connected. The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News.
Welcome back. Probation and parole officials from across the Caribbean have converged in St. Lucia this week, uniting in a regional push to strengthen rehabilitation, reintegration, and justice reform through shared expertise and collaboration. We get the details in this report.
The Department of Probation and Parole Services is playing host to the Caribbean Association of Probation and Parole two-day regional conference. The conference officially opened on Thursday, September 4th, and brings together probation and parole officials from across the region to deliberate on strategies for strengthening rehabilitation, reintegration, and justice reform efforts.
And so because we understand the dynamics of society, the dynamics of change, and all the change affects behavior, and behavior is what results in crime, we have come together as an organization to share our experiences. So if something is happening in Antigua and something is being done and it's working in Antigua, we will review the practices and see whether there is an opportunity for us to pilot those activities.
The initiative, driven by data exchange and sharing, reflects ongoing efforts to balance accountability with restorative justice approaches that better support individuals transitioning back into society.
A lot of what is happening, we are able to conduct a lot of research. We have a lot of information across the islands as it relates to the clients that we meet over years and so on. We have a lot of information, we have a lot of data, and we conduct a lot of data-driven practices, and we have seen a lot of improvement in some of the work.
Jaron Harvey, incoming president of CAP, outlined the role that he will play as he takes over the leadership of the organization.
One of the things that we're hoping to achieve out of this organization, out of this conference rather, is that we're focusing on gang violence and sexual offending. And those two areas are prominent issues that are facing our region. And so one of the things that we want to come out of this organization is how we can strengthen our regional collaboration, where we can exchange best practices, try to capitalize on those areas that are strong, and the areas where we may be weak, how we can improve that. But I think one of the things that we really want to achieve is sharing best practices and sharing knowledge, and to be able to exchange it so we come out as a unified front to strengthen and to address the issues that are plaguing our various countries.
The two-day meeting will also highlight regional challenges. It is expected that participants will leave with renewed strategies to enhance their country-level systems while reinforcing cross-border cooperation. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Alvin Alexander.
Communities across St. Lucia are gearing up for a vibrant cultural season. Following suit from the Lawas Festival, the Cultural Development Foundation, together with the La Marguerite Planning Committee, held its first 2025 meeting this week, bringing together representatives from communities island-wide to discuss the logistics of this year's celebration.
The Cultural Development Foundation, in collaboration with the La Marguerite Planning Committee, convened its inaugural planning meeting for 2025 on September 4th. Representatives from La Marguerite communities across the island attended, joining forces to shape this year's cultural activities. Speaking on the initiatives under consideration, the Cultural Development Foundation's creative producer, Drenia Frederick, outlined the plans already in motion, promising a vibrant and engaging season ahead.
Today is really the first sort of initial meeting with the La Marguerite groups, the La Marguerite societies. And today is a planning session where we sit down and we decide the venue for La Marguerite for this year's celebration, the Guafet, and also to discuss other pertinent matters in terms of the strategic plan for the flower festivals for Marguerite and Lawas, and in terms of what activities that they want to do, and in terms of how do we grow the festival. So this is a sort of democratic process that's done with all the groups, where CDF is the facilitator of the celebration and of these groups in terms of the ideas come from the practitioners, and they're the ones who practice, and CDF works along with them, along with creative industries. And this year we know that the groups and the flower festivals are to be placed on the intangible heritage, the cultural heritage list.
She emphasized that St. Lucia's rich cultural heritage is once again taking center stage, buoyed by the resounding success of the La Rose Festival. While such prominence was not always the case, Frederick noted that the preservation of the island's culture has long remained a top priority.
I think over the years there has been a sort of a drastic, it could be more, but there have been a drastic improvement in terms of support. And I'm speaking from the perspective of CDF. CDF, after a period, has sort of resorted this year in terms of the Lawas Festival, the quality, the improvement on the aesthetics of the festival, the content. CDF has really pulled out the stops in terms of training and going out and helping the groups with their presentations. I'm sure this year you saw a lot of interesting skits and experimentation, but we have kept the authenticity of the festival, of the ritual, that ritual circle, that with the songs, the call and response, that has been kept, the essence of the festival. So CDF is very much interested in keeping the authenticity of the festival and staying true to that, as well as helping the practitioners expand it in terms of its development and how we stage it.
Marguerite Events Coordinator shared some of the key changes that will advance this year's celebrations.
Basically, the location would change, and maybe we are looking to see if we were hoping that we would be getting a couple of new groups. And that is one of the points we were making, that those new groups, we should have initiated some sort of training for during the year, so that those groups would right now to participate in the actual La Marguerite, because there's the learning of the songs. If you're a king, you need to know what to do, how to act, all of these things. We see it as play acting, as drama, and you cannot put on a good show if you do not basically know your role.
Cultural Development Foundation states that dates of all activities will be released by the end of this month, whilst the official day of the festival is on October 17th. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
In regional news, the Jamaica Labour Party, under the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, has secured a historic third straight term in office, reaffirming his grip on the island's political landscape. St. Lucia's Prime Minister and leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party celebrates this win as victory for democracy in the region, as he too eyes the next elections.
This bell is not an easy bell to ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Bustamante rang this bell. But I carried the symbol of the party today because it is such a historic moment that this is a victory for our founder, Bustamante, for Sir Donald Stanster, for Hugh Shearer, for Edward Philip George Tiago.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has led the Jamaican Labour Party, JLP, to a historic third consecutive term following Wednesday's general election. Preliminary results released late Wednesday night confirmed that the JLP won 34 of the 63 parliamentary seats, while the opposition, People's National Party, PNP, led by Mark Golding, secured 29 in one of the closest races in recent memory. Following this news, Prime Minister Holness expressed gratitude to his supporters, dispelling any negativity surrounding his party securing their third term, which equals over 15 years.
Today, Jamaica won. Jamaica won this election. Yes. The majority of voters decided to choose Jamaica. Firstly, let me thank the thousands of Jamaicans who prayed for me personally and who prayed for the government and the country. Make no mistake about it. This was not victory by default. Make no mistake about it. This was not an easy victory. Make no mistake about it. This was a fight. But we did not descend my political organization. We did not descend to the gutter to fight. We did not seek to trick the people to win. We did not seek to tear down anyone to lift up ourselves. We did not seek to tear down Jamaica in order to be able to administer the affairs of Jamaicans. Our democracy by this election is proven to be intact. There are those who are trying to seed a view that the mere fact of a third term is a threat to democracy. There are those who are trying to carry the idea that regardless of how well a government performs and merits to be re-elected, it shouldn't happen because somehow that is a threat to democracy. Well, today has dispelled that because we went through the toughest battle in any democratic society in the region to stand here and say we will be the government for the third time.
Voter turnout was estimated at just under 40%, continuing a downward trend in electoral participation. Despite this, Holness hailed the outcome as a victory for the people of Jamaica, reaffirming his commitment to policies centered on crime reduction, economic growth, and fiscal stability. Over the past year, Jamaica has reported a 43% decline in homicides, which Holness attributed to sustained law enforcement operations and targeted security reforms. Economically, the Prime Minister has pointed to a record low 3.3% unemployment rate, debt reduction, and poverty alleviation measures. PNP leader Mark Golding conceded defeat graciously, acknowledging the tight contest and vowing to continue advocating for Jamaicans from the opposition benches.
First of all, I think it's my duty as a believer in democracy to acknowledge and concede the result and to congratulate our opponents, the Jamaica Labour Party, for their victory tonight. Jamaica's democracy is important and we must cherish it. Sometimes it brings bitter disappointments. Sometimes those disappointments are laced with a tinge of a sense that not all is fair and just, but it is very, very important that we put democracy ahead of all of those feelings. And I accept the result of these elections, and although obviously I'm very disappointed in the outcome, I think it is only correct to expressly acknowledge the success that our opponents have managed to gain today.
Across the Caribbean, leaders extended congratulations to Holness. Messages poured in from CARICOM counterparts, including Guyana's President Ali, who also secured his second consecutive term, and Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre also joined in, taking to Instagram on Thursday to send a message of solidarity. The St. Lucian leader underscored the importance of strengthening ties between the two nations, calling Jamaica's success a victory for democracy in the region. As Holness prepares to begin another 5 years in office, the eyes of the Caribbean remain fixed on Jamaica's balancing act of delivering economic relief, sustaining public safety gains, and navigating global economic pressures. The Prime Minister has pledged to lower income tax and gradually double the national minimum wage. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Stay with us, the weather report is up next.
The third segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
At Caribbean Awning, we can protect your livelihood and assets against storms, hurricanes, and intruders with our shutters and roll-up steel doors. We firmly believe that everyone should have access to smarter, higher quality, and affordable security solutions. Caribbean Awning hurricane screens and shutters are Miami-Dade County approved to withstand storms, hurricane pressure, and winds. Our customizable estate gates, fencing, and burglar bars are an attractive and affordable security solution to safeguarding your loved ones and property. Living near sea blast, Caribbean Awning aluminum product line, railing, fencing, and gates are all manufactured from extruded aluminum, providing you with durable, rust-free protection. Our face recognition security system is a cutting-edge technological solution to improve your compound surveillance measures and gives you a peace of mind. Diamond Award-winning Caribbean Awning. Let us cover your world.
And now for the weather report.
Present weather at Uranora Airport is partly cloudy. Present weather at George F. L. Charles Airport is partly cloudy. Present temperature at Uranora Airport is 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind at Uranora Airport is blowing from the east-southeast at 20 miles per hour or 31 kilometers per hour. Rainfall in the 24-hour period that ended at 8 a.m. today. At Uranora Airport, 0.6 millimeters. At George F. L. Charles Airport, 6.5 millimeters. Sunset today, 6:15 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:52 a.m. Forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east and east-southeast near 17 miles per hour or 28 kilometers per hour. Weather. Fair skies becoming cloudy at times with a few showers. Marine forecast for seas in a 25-mile or 40-kilometer radius from St. Lucia. Tides for Castries Harbour high at 2:44 p.m., low at 7:34 p.m. Tides for Viewport Bay high at 3:51 p.m., low at 9:01 p.m. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet or 1.2 to 1.8 meters. Tropical weather outlook. The Atlantic high-pressure system is expected to build across the region. Weak, unstable conditions will cause a few scattered showers over the area during the next 24 hours. A broad area of low pressure associated with a tropical wave located over the eastern tropical Atlantic has become better organized. Additional development of this system is expected and a tropical depression is likely to form over the weekend or early next week. This system is moving slowly westward near 8 miles per hour or 13 kilometers per hour. The system is likely to be near the Lesser Antilles by the middle to latter part of next week. Residents in the Lesser Antilles should continue to monitor the progress of this system.
And with that, we come to the end of the Hot 7 TV Nightly News for today, Friday, 5th September 2025. Don't forget to join us for the weekend news edition Double Take on Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. I am Daniela Edwin. Thank you for tuning in and to have a good night.
And now, for our Hot 7 TV special news feature.